24th of November, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura. Okay, recording's on.
Okay. Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here in Yeshiva Shama Nafshi here in Shlaim Care of Zoom. This is our second share in the morning with Mr. Berura. We're learning Hilchos Hanukah in Siman Tav Reish Ayin Aleph, and we're learning here in Siv Zayin. We'll start with Siv Zayin. Tav Reish Ayin Aleph, Siv Zayin. This is more discussion about where to place the menorah at the time of the lighting of the Hanukah. Okay, I guess Barry, would you like to read a bit?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Where are we now? We're at Zion.
Yes, Tav Reish Ayin Aleph, Siv Zayin.
Mitzvah l'hanicho b'tefach hasomen lepetach mismoel k'dei shetehei mezuzah miyamin v'ner Hanukah mishmo. Oh, so that's okay. So this is because it has to be closer to the door.
Right. We want to place the mezuzah right by the doorway, whether it's a doorway from the chutzner to the Rishus Harabim, or from your house to the Rishus Harabim. Want to place it by the doorway, right? And so it should be placed, the mezuzah, in this tefach samech to the doorway. Now that could be it could, depending on the configuration of the doorway, it could be either it could be longitudinal, or it could be in the breadth of the doorway, meaning some doorways you have, for example, here, let me show you, maybe. See, okay, here, where is it? You see, there's the mezuzah, right?
Yeah.
So that's, and on the other side of the door, right? So you've got the other side of the door over here, right? And you have this space over here, which is the opening through the wall, right? So sometimes you can place a mezuzah. You can, just as you place the mezuzah, in that space in the wall where it's cutting through the wall. You can sometimes, on the opposite side, place a mezuzah here as well. Right? You can make a platform and place a mezuzah there. So that's ideally, I think where you should place your mezuzah, if it can be done. Not always is it possible, right? So it should ideally be placed within one tefach of your doorway. Okay.
The outside door.
Yes.
So if you're standing in your doorway, you're inside the house, but you're standing, you're facing your door, your outside door. Your mezuzah is going to be on your left at that point.
Right, because your mezuzah, when you're facing if you're facing going into your house, right,
It's on the right.
The mezuzah on the right, and the menorah should be therefore on the left. Correct.
Right. Okay. Ve'im ein mezuzah And if there's not a mezuzah, the petach in the opening, manichon miyamin. So what would be the situation where there wouldn't be a mezuzah by the door?
Let's say for some reason it doesn't have a mashkuf.
Lentil.
It's a lentil, right? It's just a walkthrough. It's not really or a gate. Like you just have a gate.
Yeah. Ve'im hanichu b'dalet atzmo. Yunichenu mechetzov shel keniso letzad smol. Okay.
Right. So if there's no mezuzah there, so you place the menorah on the right hand side. Right.
Okay.
And if you place it exact on the door itself, then you place it on the half of the entrance side on the left hand side. Okay, now look at the Ramah. You have Bisman Azeh, right? Bisman in our times.
B'zman hazeh shekolanu madlikin b'fnim ve'ein heker l'vnei rishus harabim klo. Ve'ein lochesh kol kach im ein madlikin b'tefach hasamuch lepetach.
So like Bisman Azeh, in our time, when everyone lights on the inside, so there's no recognition of the lighting of menorah for the people in the Rishus Harabim at all, right? Ein lochesh kol kach. You don't have to be concerned about these things so much.
Okay.
Right. So since we're lighting on the inside anyway, and not too many people are going to ever even see it from the outside by the Rishus Harabim, so these kind of considerations aren't really relevant for us too much in our times. Okay.
I guess also if we're having trouble with non-Jewish neighbors, I guess we also would do it on the inside.
Sure, of course. That's right. Definitely. Yep.
I had a friend who moved from Lakewood, New Jersey to Borough Park. And, they were so thrilled, that they were able to do this. And it was shortly before Hanukah. And so they lit the menorah by a window.
Right.
They didn't want to put it outside, so they lit it by a window. When they got up in the morning, someone had cut through the screen and stole their family heirloom silver menorah.
Wow.
That was their welcome. That was their welcome to New York.
Yeah. It was just a screen. There was no glass or anything like that. Wow. Okay.
No, there probably was a window that they either lifted up or opened up, but then they cut the screen to reach the menorah.
Well. Okay. Let's
Umikol
continue. Go ahead, right? Minig.
makom haminhag lahadlik betefach hasomuch bepesach kamo v'mehem v'ein l'shanos. And we don't change?
Right, meaning it's still, nevertheless, the minig is to light in the tefach samach to the pesach, in the airspace of the tefach, which is close to the doorway. Mubiyamim, just as it was in the time of Purim, it was.
Mhm.
Okay.
Elohim Cain Rabim B'nei Habayit Sha'adif Yoser had Lahadlig Kol Echad B'Makam Miyuchad Milaver Haneros Biyachad Ve'ein Keker Kamo Neros Madlikin.
Right. You should have each person lighting in a specific place, right? So it shouldn't be all a conglomeration of different candles and lights being lit in one spot. Should spread it out. It's better, therefore, if you have a lot of people lighting in the house, it's better that each person lights in a specific place rather than to have all the candles mixed up together.
They have to be distinguishable between each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue.
Umikol makom yizacheru shelo lahadlig b'makom shemadlikin haneros kol hashana.
Oh. Meaning wherever you're going to light, you should be careful. Don't light in the same place where you usually have your candelabra lit during the rest of the year. It should be a special place for Hanukkah. So it should add to the distinctive quality of lighting for the sake of Hanukkah rather than simply lighting for the sake of having light in the house.
Okay. Has to have a special location.
Right, exactly.
Ki az lo yeh heker klal. Va'af ki ein heker rak livnei habayit. Umikol makom heker ketzat mikra boy.
It says here that you should be careful that you shouldn't light in the same place where you light all the year long. There's no distinction that you're lighting for the sake of Hanukkah at all. Even though that it's only a distinction for the people in the house themselves, you need at least a slight distinction that it's in fact being lit for the sake of the Ner Hanukkah.
Okay.
Beit Knesset. Now he's switching over to where you light in the Beit Knesset. In the shul,
Beit Knesset menichu b'kosel the rum. So, but so you do it. You do it facing the east.
excuse me, Barry.
This is saying that in the basic Knesset, you light it on a wall.
Right, you light it Miniku B'Koisel Dorim on the south wall. You light the menorah on the southern wall.
Ah. Well, we don't do that. They light it on the same wall that where the iron is, so everybody's facing it. I mean, that's what they do. I don't.
Right.
Must have a reason.
We'll see. We'll see. They're different than hugging. You're right. This is the first opinion that you should light it on the south wall. Again, it all depends where what hemisphere you're in is where's the south wall gonna be located, right?
Right. Yeah. Also, there's windows involved, and all that stuff.
Right. You also don't want to light it underneath one of the fire alarms, right?
Yeah. If you have fire alarms. Oh, but the room, Amanara, Musedron, the Mizrach, Lamarv. Okay, so you have options.
Right. Okay.
Umadlikin, Umeflorchin, Mishum, Pesume Nisa.
And in shul, he's continuing on with shul. In shul, you light and make a bracha. This is during the daytime. I mean, not in chakras. We'll see about chakras later on. But you light because of presuming Nisa. You want to publicize the miracle.
When you do it at night.
Right.
Okay. Ve'ein Adam Yotze B'nero Shel Beit HaKnesset V'tzorech L'chazir V'lahadlik Bebeito. Oh, okay. In other words, if you know you're going to light at home, but let's say a person doesn't have a menorah, whatever, so he could include himself or be included, or
That's a question. We'll have to see about that. Whether it's possible for him to be included in the brachas and the lighting of the Beit Knesset.
okay.
Yeah, that's a question, right? Very good.
V'tzorech L'chazir L'hadlik Bebeito. Okay, so you have to go home and light at home.
Right.
The Nahagin L'hadlik Bebeito L'Beit HaKnesses Bein Mincha L'Marv.
Right. That's when they would normally light between Mincha and Ma'ariv. That's in the places where they would usually daven Mincha, and then shortly afterwards they would daven Ma'ariv. And this next halacha is about Erev Shabbos in the Beit Knesset. So since our time is about up, maybe we'll leave this off for next time. We have to go back and do Mr. Brewer's on this in any event. All right, that's about our time. I think I don't want to go over time.
Okay.
So Mitzvah Shem, good. Hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Lou. And
All right.
We'll continue tomorrow. Mitzvah.
Tomorrow. Okay. Everybody should be well and healthy. Refuah Shalem to all.
Amen.
Amen.
Likewise, you too as well, Barry. Shalom.
Amen.
Bye.